Okay, so with our stage 3 mobility exercises, again we've got quite a focus around the hip, much like in stage 1. We're also going to hit other key areas though. As you go through this, you may feel a bit of immobilization through your lower back, even through the upper back in some cases, as we do some of the rotational work. But you'll see how we go when we get into this. You'll see that some of these, for those of you who have a yoga background, you may see some familiar movements. These are, in many cases, twists on yoga postures, yoga positions. The first one we're going to work through is quite a stretch, particularly for one of those deeper hip rotational muscles, little piriformis, quite often a troublesome little muscle up in there. We're going to get into a position. If we start out in kneeling, from here I'm going to bring, a bit further away from the camera, from here I'm going to bring one leg up and over the other, and then I'm going to push back. So essentially I've got this front leg out in front of me, rotate it out, foot up as far as is comfortable. From here I'm going to drop down onto my elbows and sink down towards the ground through my hips. So you can see with me, that's about as far as I've got to give around the hip. But from here, you should be feeling a good stretch around this front hip, deep in around piriformis, deep to those glute muscles. From there, down your elbows, rather than just holding this position, you're going to rotate round one way and rotate round the other. And just keep this moving. It's this kind of pace, one side and the other. As I'm moving my top half over my static bottom half, I feel this stretch move around this hip region. Now, day by day, we will ask you to do a certain number of sets and reps of these, but let's always obviously balance out what you do on the right versus what you do on the left. So, the next exercise. From here, I'm going to start out in a press-up position. In this press-up position, if I come side on, you'll be able to see a bit better. From here, we're not sagging into it, not sticking my butt up in the air. All I want to do is bring one leg over in front of me, underneath my body. In this position, get my foot up as close as I can to my hand with a relatively straight knee, not locked out, but relatively straight. All I want to do is sink myself down, feeling a good stretch down the outside of this leg. Some of those lateral hamstrings, up also into the lateral hip. Feeling a good stretch through there. Just going to hold that and then do the same on the other side. One, then the other. Weight stays on my hands and I sink my hips down. One, then the other. I'm going to do this alternating, again for the number of sets that I set for the day. The next variation or the next exercise, I'm going to again start out in a press-up position. So, start out here. From this position, I want to get foot, same side this time, up alongside my hand. So I'm coming right up into quite a hip flex position, a little bit abducted position at the hip. Straight away I'm feeling a good stretch deep in around my groin. From there though, I'm going to bring this hand and I'm going to come up towards the sky, adding some rotation in, keeping this back leg as straight as I can. Then come down. I'm going to bring this hand close in, so his elbow is on my shin here. I'm going to open out the other side, up towards the sky, and I come down. Just come up and hold for a couple of seconds, get the balance, and come down. We then obviously do the same on the other side, again for the number of sets and reps I set for the given day. See how you get on with those three? Comment below in the specific page for the day you're on, and let me know how you go. Speak to you soon. Cheers, bye.